Yo, what's going on, everybody, and welcome back to the show. If you're new here, my name is Mitchell. In today's episode, I'll be talking about you can't make good wines with bad grapes. So I do these YouTube lives every Saturday at 12 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Eastern time. So if you guys are ever interested, feel free to come on to the live. And if you're watching this on a replay, leave a comment down below, hit the like button, subscribe, and let your friends know. Let your family know if they want to improve their health. Right. So anyways, I want to talk about a recap episode, which is the quickest way to get someone else to change is to change yourself. And the recap episode, or the slide is on, you can only change yourself. You can't change anybody. The only thing that you can change, that you have any power over, is to change yourself. Trying to change others when it is not their choice is a recipe for resentment. So you ever tried to change someone that doesn't want to be changed? And guess what? Usually, there's a lot of resentment. Okay, there's going to be a lot of people that's not gonna like that. They're saying that, hey, you're trying to change me, even though it might be good for them. It's not their choice, and ultimately, it has to be them. Seattle, so what's up? What's up, Cynthia? How you doing? So many people put time and energy into trying to change somebody. So, in my opinion, you're putting your energy in the wrong places. What you can do is gently lead, and I'll explain a little bit more about that. What's up, Tracy? Good seeing you again. Hello. So, even if it's, trying to change someone, so even if it's for their own good and the right intentions, they will quickly find themselves where they started again, right? Most people don't change unless they want it more than you do. Now, what you can do is, if they're curious, let them know. If you have the resources, let them know, right? So this usually gets the person who's trying to change someone angry or frustrated. Imagine trying to change somebody that does not want to be changed. They're going to resent you. They're going to not like you very, very much, right? So this goes for relationships. Now, if you're a parent, then obviously there's certain things, like they're kids. They don't know any better. So that's the difference, right? But if you're trying to be with somebody, whether it's friends or family or even a partner, these are the type of people that you should accept them as they are and not try to change them. Trying to change them is really for yourself, so that you can feel better about yourself and not just align with somebody else that really aligns with your similar goals and similar values. All right, so they're frustrated because of the other person's thoughts or behaviors, and it did not meet their expectations. Hello, Shelby. So you can gently lead or suggest, but you can never do it for them. Like I said, the only way for them to change is for them to want it more than you. You can love someone for their potential, but if they are not living up to their potential, it is not your job to save them, and it's not your job to try to fix them. Ladies, I know you love to try to change a man. I know he could do better. I see so much potential in him. Let that go. All right. I know you want him to be somebody that he's kind of not, right? He has everything, 9 out of 10 on your list, but yet the one thing that goes against your values, but he's a liar and a cheater. He could be, or she could be, whatever, right? It could be a liar and a cheater. Well, guess what? That's that person's character, and their character is destiny. So if they are unwilling, you can either accept them and love them as they are, or leave them and find somebody else who is what you want, someone that aligns with you, similar goals and similar values. So trying to change someone is not accepting reality. And when you want reality to be better than it is, we suffer, because you can ignore reality, but you cannot ignore the consequences of ignoring reality. Okay? People see changes through behaviors and actions, not by what they tell you they're going to do. Okay? And be careful with the people that tells you a lot of things but don't apply any type of actions, because ultimately, I'm gonna get into that. I don't want to spoil it, but ultimately a lot of people talk about it, and our brain don't know the difference of us actually doing it or actually talking about it. It can't tell. So really view view a person by their actions, by their behaviors, not what they say, right? They might need to see it. They need to see it to believe it. So you know what? If they're unwilling to change, it's not your job to try to change them. All right. Now, let's go on to the meat of the topic. One out of the 4 slides that I'll be talking about, which is most people don't change. Most people don't change. And they usually just get better at hiding it. Okay, so if you tolerate a cheater or someone that constantly disrespects you, be prepared to accept more of it. Okay, so the first time, you're unaware, you're unsure, you're not sure who it is, okay, who they are. You thought you properly vetted them, but then it turns out that they're not the type of person that you thought they once were. And so you made a mistake, and you're like, okay, he's a liar, or she's a liar, cheat, or whatever, right? And that's not on you. But if you accept it and you accept it again, then it's really ultimately that's your choice. Not making a decision of leaving is still a choice, right? So be prepared to accept more of it, because whatever you tolerate, you invite more of. Now, what you can do is, or what you should do, is set and enforce. Okay, the key word is enforce, but the first step is to set your boundaries. Let them know, hey, this is not. Let them know in the beginning. I don't tolerate cheaters. I don't tolerate certain type of people that has infidelity, right? Where were you when I was not in your abusive marriage? Speaking facts, I learned the hard way. Accept, appreciate your good word. Thank you, Shelby. I came into your life when you needed it. That's how I see things, right? And that's the great thing about this is how we learn, right? So, and I like to see people as gifts, right? And now I'll explain a little bit more about that later on in my episode. But you got to set and enforce those healthy boundaries, right? So the moment you let those little boundaries start slipping, that's when the other person knows that they could continue to take advantage of you. So you have to set those boundaries, and you have to enforce those boundaries. A lot of people set boundaries and they don't enforce it. So what happens? They call you a bluff. They're like, you're full of shit. I could walk all over you. You're just gonna accept it exactly how you always have. So why would I need to change? So that's why you have to set those boundaries and enforce them. Now, little heads up, back then, I used to be that type of guy where I would set a boundary, but I wouldn't enforce it. And so what ends up happening is they start calling my bluff, and they start taking advantage of those. Then one day, I was like, Mitchell, if you want people to take you a little bit more serious, guess what you have to do? You have to set those boundaries, and you have to enforce it. You have to be diligent about it. You have to let them know you mean what you say and say what you mean. That is congruency, right? Men who are incongruent, they're not respected. And if a guy is not respected, let's just say he is not respected by the woman in his life, his lady in his life, well, she's not going to love this man because she can't even respect him. A woman cannot love a man that she cannot respect. So it's being able to have a backbone, and not, whether it's your friends or whatever, it's like have a backbone, but you still want to be able to like compromise certain things. You don't ever want to compromise your core values, right? So don't compromise those core values. So anyways, set and enforce those healthy boundaries. You must be willing to see reality as it is, not better, not worse. So like I said, because if you don't, you will suffer. And if you think that he or she is a loyal or faithful, and they quote unquote made this mistake, maybe they were drunk and they started texting or started flirting, or maybe you were out one day and that person got drunk, or your partner got drunk and then started making out with another person, and knowingly that she or he has a boyfriend or a girlfriend, or is in an intimate exclusive relationship, like, what does that tell you about that person's character? You know what I mean? And so now they're using this substance as an excuse to excuse their behavior. Like, is that something that you really want to tolerate? Is that something that where, hey, you know what, I want to go out and have a little bit of fun, but now every time I want to go out and have a little fun with you, I have to watch you like a hawk, because that's not going to be really fun, right? And then you don't always want to keep your like one eye open when you're sleeping either, right? So it's like, all right, do you really want to tolerate that? So you have to ask yourself, is this the type of person that I want to be around, right? Because then you're not going to have an easygoing, easy to get along with type of relationship with your partner if all you have to do is worry, right? I have a friend who is in a marriage and she can't even be free because her man is blah, blah. I don't think she can even go to the bar with me for like a BTS party. She told me we were just having a conversation. So her man is basically trying to control her, right? It sounds like. Now, we all know that control is an illusion. It's an illusion because in reality, they can't even control themselves. That's why they feel the need to control other people so that they can feel better about themselves, right? It's just like a relationship. When there's a breakup, most people, and you know, this was me before. I'm no longer like that, but in a relationship before, when me and my ex will break up, I would want something bad for her, like, oh, look at me, I'm doing so much better, and you're over there, you're not feeling good about yourself, and it's always about me. But in reality, that's just so that I could feel better about myself, right? But instead, now I kind of look at it as differently. I see it as like, well, me and this person, it's unfortunate that we could not be together anymore because of certain differences, or, you know, things just didn't work out, right? It just, we're not compatible, or as compatible as we thought we once were. But I see them as a gift, meaning that they came into my life, they changed my perspective, or maybe I've learned something, right? So I see things as what is happening for me, as things that, as opposed to something that is happening to me all the time, right? So then when you switch the way you think about things, switching your mindset, when you change the way you look at things, the things you look at change. And so me seeing them as gifts, and they come into my life and they taught me so many different things, I'm like, wow, thank you. So more often than not, I'm more grateful that they became a part of my life, because you taught me so much. So then I could let them go freely and love them as they are and who they are, and not try to change them. You know what I mean? I showed her a video of the bar we were going to, but her man didn't like it. My man said the bar looked wild. Okay, of course. I walked away because I can't give any advice. Can't be mad either. Exactly, right? So like, you just gotta accept them as they are. And maybe you could voice an opinion, but you can't try to change her idea, right? Let her decide for herself that, damn, like, because eventually you try to trap somebody, guess what happens? It explodes, right? So, yep, when you grow to be more comfortable within yourself and loving yourself more, you view things differently, definitely. Exactly. So, let's see. You must be able to see reality as it is, because if you don't, you suffer. Loyal and faithful. So you can tell a person by their actions, and that is the basis of the character, and character is destiny. So learn how to let go so that you can go further ahead, right? And it's most difficult. It's the hardest thing is when the people that is closest to you, you start seeing them kind of fail, and meaning like they could do so much better. They have so much potential. Everybody in here on this earth has the potential, yet we don't utilize that potential because a lot of things tells us that we're not good enough. So in my previous episode, I was talking about how most people, like humans, were designed, this is in our nature, we're hardwired to survive. We're not hardwired to thrive in life. We're just hardwired to survive, right? So imagine you take away houses, shelter, and everything like that, right? And we're out in the wild where at any moment we could get eaten alive, right? We're just hardwired to survive. We're not hardwired to thrive. So if you could kind of just understand that concept, then you can understand why we're always in so much so anxious all the time. Why we're so anxious, because we're too focused on what's happening in the past, and that's what having anxiety is, being so too focused on the past or too focused in the future. But if you just take those out and you just focus on the present moment, you won't have any anxiety because you're just focusing on what's happening now. And so that's why it's so important to be present with yourself so that you don't waste time dealing with what's happening in the past and too much thinking into a future, right? Now, you should plan ahead, because if you don't plan, then you won't have anything. But most people plan, and then they say to themselves, well, what if this happened? What if? And those are what they call the language of the poor, right? Those are the things that's going to keep you in the past. And when you stay stuck in the past, and the three influence in life is people that get stuck in the past, or the influence of being pulled to the side, which is distractions, whether it's social media, just kind of drowning yourself in information, this whole echo chamber. You lose a lot of what could be happening for you at the moment, which is for yourself. So, I encourage you guys to go home one day after work, after a long day, and I get it, it's not fun, but go home after work and try not to distract yourself. Just focus on, maybe, you know what? If you got to sit down and eat and stare at a wall. And then let your thoughts continue to talk, because these are your subconscious thoughts. And these are things that you're not thinking about. And what you're not thinking about, it's still in the back. So if you're constantly saying things to yourself like, oh, you're not worthy, you will never be good enough, then you really want to listen to those type of thoughts and then reflect on those thoughts and then find a solution and then take action. That way, the subconscious won't be telling you you're not good enough anymore, right? By taking massive action and being aware of it. So, let's move on. Learn to let go so you can get further ahead. Hardest ones are to let people go that is closest to you, right? And I get it. Family, your best friend, right? People that you love, those are the hardest. But eventually, they must participate in their own rescue, right? So, and you think about it, people that you really want to care about, you want what's best for them. Sometimes if you think about it, sometimes the juice just ain't worth the squeeze. It's just, you got to let them go as they are. This is who they are. That's their character. And if they don't want to change, at least you said your part. And that's it. And so look, I'm a coach. And so when I give people my type of advice, more often they will take advantage of that. Like, okay, Mitchell is a coach. This is what he studied, blah, blah. So it weighs a little bit more than like maybe the best friend or something like that, right? That's been constantly telling them. But still, it still happens to this day where if I give someone an advice, they'd be like, well, it does not resonate with them. And when it doesn't resonate with them, exactly what I said, they heard it somewhere else. And when they heard it somewhere else, it was like, Mitchell, someone told me this. And I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, that's exactly what I told you too, right? But they're like, well, it made more sense when they said it. Word for word, verbatim. It clicked for them. And to me, I'm like, great. As long as you can accept that and then move forward with that advice, maybe they just needed to hear it not 100 times, but 105 times from a different source. As long as you moving forward and moving ahead in your life, that's all that matters to me, because it means that you're improving yourself. And to me, the better people are, the less chaos it is in the world, right? And we live in a very chaotic world. So, I mean, to me, wherever you get your bliss from, so be it. And I'm happy for you. Okay. So what we resist persists. So if you constantly ignore reality and you start resisting by resisting the current reality, you're actually keeping it stuck in that place. You're ignoring it. You're like, nah. So then you distract yourself. You come back to it, and you never solve that problem. That problem's still there. All right. So second slide. Okay. So the first slide was most people don't change. Okay. It's not your job to change them. It's my second slide. It is not your job to change them. And I want to start out with this quote, which is, when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. When a student is ready, that's the student is yourself or themselves, whoever it may be. The teacher will appear. And for some reason, everything just starts making more sense. When the student is ready, the teacher will appear. So it must be their choice. It is not your job or responsibility to change them, to fix them, or try to save them. And they must participate in their own rescue. And you must participate in your own rescue. And you have to want it more, or they have to want it more than anybody else. Otherwise, it's not going to be something that's sustainable, right? So, and also here's another thing too, like even as a coach, I don't want to teach you what to think. I want to teach you how to think, so that kind of like the whole fisherman, like, you know, you teach a man how to, you give a man a fish, he has one meal, you teach a man how to fish. I'm messing it up, but they basically have endless meals, right? Okay. So I want to teach you guys how to think, so that you could think on your own. And you know what? One of the great quotes were, listen to many, but speak with your own, right? Because then you have your own voice. Everybody in here is an individual, and everyone has their own. No one's the same. And that's the beauty of being human. No one's the same, right? So you must participate in your own rescue, and you have to want it more than anybody else. Otherwise, it's not going to be sustainable. No one can truly save anyone. Only you can save yourself. So what you can do is to provide resources. Now, if you have the resources, great, right? But number one, listen to them. Most people here today, they don't get heard enough. And when they don't feel heard enough, they feel like all their thoughts are just stuck, and it's not going anywhere. They feel stuck. No one's listening to them. And we're creatures of connection. We need love and bonding and connection, right? And if we don't have that, if you constantly, every time you want to say something, the other person kind of like just talks all over you. Imagine being in a type of relationship like that constantly, right? Like, how much fun will that be? So people, listen to their thoughts. Just listen to other people. You be surprised. Most people solve their own problems by talking about things. Okay. So listen to them, and then ask them quality questions, like what makes you want to do that? How are you going to do that? Right? Just ask good quality questions, open-ended questions as well, so they could most likely solve their own questions themselves. Answers, right? Ask them if they would like your advice or your opinion about that topic that you guys are talking about. So if you're talking to them, hey, would you like my opinion about it, or would you like me to listen? And then they will let you know. I want you to listen. Okay. It means that back off. Don't try to give anything. It means that they just want to talk. And you know what? If guys just did that for the ladies, instead of always trying to fix her problems, he would be in a much happier relationship. Because more often than not, women, they solve the problems by talking about things. It's just let them talk. Okay, is that what that person did? Okay, is that what happened when you were waiting in line at Costco? This person gave you like that, just walked in front of you and cut you. Wow, if I was there, right? Make some fun out of it, right? Like, well, I'm glad that nothing happened, and I'm glad you stayed your ground. You stood up for yourself too. You'd be like, hey, the line starts back there, blah blah blah. They didn't take it the right way, etc. Right? And nothing happened, and I'm glad you're home, baby, right? Listen to her. Make her feel heard and understood, so that way she will love you more, all right? Relationship is about giving. It's giving. Give to her by listening to her, okay? Let her talk. So listen to her thoughts. Ask them if they would like your advice or your opinion. And then if they say yes, well, give them the resources. Otherwise, if they say yes and you don't have any resources to give them, or you do and you're holding information, it's kind of selfish, right? It's kind of selfish. And us as humans, you ever notice we love helping people? Every time you help somebody, maybe you made someone's day by opening their door, or maybe you bought them a cup of coffee and they're like, oh my God, you just made my day, spending $2-3 buying them a coffee, right? And then next thing you know, they'd be like, oh, you want to go grab some like lunch? And then next thing you know, y'all like homies and stuff, or more than that. So, yeah. So say, if yes, give them resources. Otherwise, it's kind of selfish. Then watch them from the sidelines. Take a step back, watch them from the sidelines, and see if they are actually doing anything about it. Because more often than not, most people talk a lot, they don't do a lot, right? So those cliches, you could you could talk the talk, but you can't really walk the walk. Yeah, there's a lot of people like that. So watch their behaviors. So because more often than not, most people, they just want attention. They need attention. And that kind of goes back to the episode where I was talking about getting attention versus paying attention. And a lot of people nowadays, they need to get attention from other people because they feel so deprived of it. So they constantly seek more of it. And the more they kind of put it out there, saying to the world that type of energy, I need attention, I need this, listen to me, it pushes people away. People are repulsed by those type of people that constantly need those type of attention. And so they find different ways to get other people's attention, right? Maybe exposing themselves, doing dumb things or whatever, and they feel like they're doing something great, but in reality they're diminishing their own values, right? So be careful what kind of attention you're getting. But if you start paying attention to yourself and to who you are and what you want and who you want to become, then you could start creating the space for people that aligns with you, right? And that's the beauty, but it takes a lot of work, and not a lot of people are patient enough to create that type of value for themselves, because it means that you have to put in more work. And most people, they major in minor things. They're more focused on other people than they are themselves, right? So those are the distractions I was talking about earlier. So be careful for those people that just want your attention all the time. They're taking it from you. And so they fall into the habit of just talking about it and never doing anything about it. And then it feels good because their mind is saying like, wow, it feels like I already did something, when in reality, they didn't do shit. They just talked about it. It is, although, your job to align yourself with the people who are similar to you. Now, similar doesn't mean you stay the same who you are. It means that you continue to be better than you are today, right? 0.5%, 1%, right? Just little increments every single day adds up and compounds to who you become. And that's kind of like, that's your character, right? And you constantly work on yourself, whether it's going to the gym, eating a little bit healthier, educating yourself, reading some books that you like, right? Whatever kind of makes you happy. And then, feed yourself with the things that you love doing. So find ways. If you don't like your job, okay? If you're unhappy in your relationship, then you have to find a solution, even if it means that you have to step away from that job, from that relationship, from that career that you thought you once loved, or whatever it may be. Like, really think about it, but never go away with not having a plan. Always look at your downside risk and find out, if I leave today, well, I still have a roof over my head, right? Like, because you need to survive, okay? That's the number one most important thing to us. It's survival. Can we survive? And if you can, are you doing the things necessary to start educating yourself so that you could get out of that? Because if money and finance is the issue, then say to yourself, is it possible where the same person could get double or triple the amount by working in the same place as you, right? And if the answer is yes, if your boss makes more money than you, then there's a possibility, right? Maybe not within that company, but maybe if you put your value into other places. So what does that mean? It means that, well, are you constantly updating your resume? Are you constantly sending resumes to other places? Why? Because you're looking for your best available option. If someone's going to offer you more money and it's a different environment, and this type of environment is better for you, it's better for your mental health, you have a clear mind, you wake up, you're enjoying life, I think that's a life worth living, instead of just being miserable waking up. Because we have only so much mental bandwidth every time we wake up. And if that gets drained in the beginning of your day, you're not going to really enjoy life if it continues on, right? So that's why you always got to find like these type of distractions. Now, align yourself with the similar people, right? Similar goals, similar values, so that you don't feel like you're not always the one picking up someone else's slack. All right. Third slide. And thank you all for staying. All right, I appreciate you. Appreciate you. Okay. So, number 3 is always judge someone by their actions. Okay. Now, there's a quote: characterize people by their actions, and you will never be fooled by their words. Okay. I'll repeat it again. Characterize people by their actions, and you will never be fooled by their words. So if someone says something to you and they don't do it, it's not on you. You don't know them that well, at least not yet, right? Something mint tea. Something mint. All right. So characterize people by their actions, so you will never be fooled by their words. Many people always say something, but not everyone will or can follow through with action. Not everybody could. And when you notice how someone wants to change, but are people who just complains about things and they just kind of want to seek for attention, take a step back. Take a step back. So, Amanda, do you believe people say what their personality is, or do you go off by the behavior? Well, there's another quote which was, trust but verify. Trust them but verify, right? So trust them. If they say, hey, you know what, this is what I'm gonna do, trust them. Trust that they're gonna do it. And then verify. Oh, did you ever go and pick up that book that you said you were gonna go read? Oh no, I didn't. That's all you gotta say. Right? So trust but verify. And when you notice that, take a step back, because more often than not, they're getting this high off of their own thoughts by just talking about it. They think they're confusing their mind. They're tricking their mind by just talking about it, but never actually doing anything about it. Change happens when you take action, okay? So when you notice how someone does that, take a step back, because they're getting this high off of like, yeah, like this is what I want to do. And I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, so the best ones are when I'm talking to people that's like, they're tough, but like they have no background in fighting. And they're like, oh yeah, if they hit me like this, I'm just gonna move right here. And I was like, yeah, but then that's not what happened when I saw you at the bar the other day. Or yeah, like you just got knocked. What happened there? Oh yeah, man, I got a little too it's like they talk a lot. Let them talk. Let the talkers talk, right? Watch people by their actions. So that's why they say action speaks louder, right? So they're getting this high. So you either, this is your job. This is your choice, all right? This is what you want to do, all right? You either accept them for who they are and as they are, or move on, okay? So let's just say you're in a relationship, okay? And this person isn't the type of person that you thought they once were. Maybe that you were fooled by it. And then you could always kind of tell someone's, like, people could kind of hide themselves for who they are for at least 90 days within a relationship, right? So once they're who they are and as they are, you can either accept them or you can move on, right? It's not your job to change them. It's not your job to try to fix them. But what you can do is, you could gently nudge. You could kind of let them know, like, this is not what I like. This is not the person that I want to align myself to be with for the rest of my life. Because if I were to be with anybody, me personally, I want that person to support what I do. Number one, being supportive, because I want to support her and what she wants to do. But ultimately, we want to build off of each other, to build each other up. I don't want to always feel like I need to pick up someone else's slack. You know what I mean? And it's because I want to be in a much better place in my life in the future. And that's where I'm going to be. But I'm not going to want to run up this hill, always trying to drag someone up. You know what I mean? Because we have a life to live, and that's how I view things. And if you want to sit at home and do nothing all day, that's fine. That's your choice. And it has nothing to do with me. But if you want me to be a part of that, I'm not going to align myself with those type of people that just don't have any goals or aspirations or anything that they want. That's just me personally though, right? So accept them or move on, right? And find someone else better who aligns with you better. But better means also you have to become better. The person, yourself, you have to be better to start asking for those better things, right? So now there could be circumstances. Here's circumstances where the other person changes after, say, for example, a breakup, right? Maybe after a breakup, and it's a guy, right? Guy, girl. The guy, he starts going to the gym. He starts eating a little bit healthier. He takes good care of himself, starts following his goals and dreams. And that's the best way. That's the best way to get someone else to change, is to change yourself. Best way to get someone else to change is to change yourself, right? And whatever you tolerate, remember, you invite more of it. So look, your mindset is to think, instead of saying, oh, I want this person back, your mindset should be, what is something that I can do today, right now, whether it's a tiny step moving towards that direction. What's one thing that I could do today to make me better? To not feel this type of resentment. I don't want to hate that other person because that person broke up with me or whatever. But I want to, what can I do to be my most attractive self, whether it's physically, mentally, spiritually, right? And loving yourself. Because when you love yourself and you truly value yourself, well, guess what? People that will know you, that gets to know you, they're gonna be drawn to you. Like, I want to say fly on shit, but probably not the best analogy. Honey and bees. Bees and honey, not fly on shit. But you know, you get the metaphor, right? Like, people are just drawn to you, dude. You're this magnet of optimism, right? It's like they're so drawn to you because of your energies, because you're so genuine. You listen to yourself and you're honest to yourself. And most people, they're not honest with themselves anymore. They say they want certain things and they don't even know what they want, right? And these could be people that you deem are very successful. Maybe they make a lot of money, but yet they're miserable. I know this guy, he makes great money. He doesn't want to be on this earth anymore. I was like, dude, you need to go to a professional, like, for real. I was like, I'm not the guy. I'm not that hotline, you know what I mean? But I was like, you need something more. But if you need to talk to somebody, absolutely, I will always be down to talk to you. But you have to do it more. You have to want it more than anybody else. So, you know, I'm happy that he didn't make that decision, but of, you know, not being here. But then he kind of just fell off. He kind of just stopped talking to me. So I was like, okay. And you know, me being me, I kind of just tap in and be like, hey, everything good? And if you don't respond back, I do it again. And after that, I'm like, okay, this person obviously doesn't want to talk. Maybe it's not just me. Maybe he just doesn't want to talk to anybody. And that's okay. So I take a step back. I know when to, like, back off, right? So anyways, back to that person, starts eating healthy, going to the gym, educating himself, etc., right? And that's the beauty of being human, right? Because in someone, you become a gift to that person. Because if, let's just say, I broke up with this girl and then she's like, you know what, I'm gonna start taking care of myself or whatever, I'm like, dude, absolutely beautiful. It's amazing that you want that for yourself. And that's why, if you could become a gift to somebody and not be bitter, and you want them to be better, they will always appreciate you. But most people, when they break up, they always want what's worse for the other person. I want what's best for the other person. So even in my previous breakup, like, I loved her. I really did. And, you know, I want nothing but the best for her. I really do. And, you know, I really hope that she's doing a lot better. I really do. And so, and then, hey, you know what? Maybe if I'm single again one day, when I'm ready, willing, and able, maybe we might cross paths, or maybe I'll be married, or maybe I have, you know, that's a beauty. We don't know certain things. And when things happen, you just kind of, you want to be ready for it, right? And so right now, while you're watching this, you want to be prepared. You want to be able to be the person that you want to be by doing it today, not the next day, not telling yourself it's already too late, but start today. And that's the beauty of being human too, is like, you could always learn something new and you could always improve yourself. Like my mom's 74. I woke up today late as hell. It was 9:30. Okay, I usually wake up at 4:30, and I woke up, and I was like, she called me. I was like, Mom, where'd you go? She was like, oh, I went to the gym. I was like, oh, for real? She was like, yeah. I was like, it's Saturday. She was like, yeah, but I gotta go to like Chinatown anyway. So I was like, why don't I just go to the gym and like do a little workout? And I was like, I love it. I was so happy for her. I was like, I wasn't gonna go to the gym, but I feel like now my mom went to the gym on a Saturday. I feel like I'm slacking off if I don't after the slide. So I might go. I might go now, Mom. Thank you. Maybe he is busy. Maybe he's busy, right? Maybe he's busy. So I love to see someone as gifts, and that's the beauty of it. When people come into my life and they show me a different view, it makes me believe that there's always good people out there. Now there's more shitty people out there, but those are not the people I'm really worried about. If they're not important to me, then it's fine. You know what? If you want to be angry, frustrated at the world, by all means, be angry and frustrated somewhere else, just not around me. Okay, and that's okay. Maybe you're dealing with something, all right, and that's fine. So, but the main reason why most people stay longer in relationship than we should is because deep down we probably don't really think highly of ourselves. You don't really truly value yourself, and value comes from things that you do for yourself. You have to participate in your own rescue. You're the only person that can save yourself. So if you feel like, damn, like if I leave this relationship, I don't feel like I would ever get anybody else that's better. Well, chances are you haven't done enough, right? If you have great options and you have great people in your life, and are you really going to tolerate people that disrespects you and waste your time and makes your life more difficult if you already have something better? Think about it. You're living the life that you always want to have, right? Financial freedom. You have a roof over your head. You have great friends, and then out comes the stranger that comes in. That's a stranger, or maybe not a stranger. Maybe it was a stranger, and now you became somewhat decent friends, and then you found out that this person starts to be kind of disrespectful. You're like, yeah, I'm not gonna tolerate this BS. I don't know what got you into this, or what made you think it's all right to talk to me like that, but that's not something that I tolerate. So have a great day, take care, and that's it. Just say take care and walk away. Right now, if you have nothing, right, you have nothing in your life, and then you finally get into a relationship because you've been single for so long, you're like, and you're desperate. You push out this desperate energy, like you need somebody. Guess what's going to happen? You're gonna be putting out this type of energy. It's gonna feel a little bit clingy. It's gonna feel a little bit needy. That person's gonna be like, oh my God, you're smothering me. It's overwhelming. And you're like, and they start disrespecting you. And then when they disrespect you, you're like, oh, that's pretty normal. No, not really. No, it's your mindset. You think it's normal because you're like, you're the only person I have. This is the best thing that could ever happen to me, right? And so you're going to start tolerating those type of disrespects, people that waste your time and stuff like that. So remember, you want to be in this mindset of doing more for yourself so that you could create a life of abundance instead of this scarcity type of mindset. All right. Now, does anyone have any questions? Can I answer any questions for anybody? I'm going to take a short little 30-second break. But guys, I have one more slide. Whew. All right. If no one have any questions, I'm going to move on. All right. So last slide. Take action, action, action. Not even in friendship. Yeah. You're not going to tolerate that disrespect, right? Now, take action, right? No amount of self-help books, listening to affirmations, podcasts, or videos will do any good if you don't apply it through action. Okay? So you're watching this. You're like, Mitchell, you're right. F those people, da 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 da, and then you go on and you do the exact same thing you have always done, and you never taken any type of action or steps to make a change in your life. Well, guess what? Nothing's gonna change. And that's what I call the seminar high. Like, imagine I'm at this TED Talk. I don't know how I would do in a TED Talk, honestly, but I will just I'll have something a little bit more structured. But anyways, it's like you get the seminar high of like, damn, oh my God, you're right. You hell yeah, right? And then you get this high thinking that your body feels like, damn, you did something, and then you don't do it. And then you find out like a week from now, a month from now, nothing's really changed, right? Like, if you look at the year, right? How many years has gone by since COVID? And how many times did you say to yourself, oh, I want to do this? COVID's been like 4 years almost, right? That's crazy. That's crazy to even think about that. I remember when people was like, COVID's at least 5 years. I was like, holy shit, 5 years is a long time. This is almost 4 years deep, all right? What have you changed? What have you changed? Have you educated yourself? Have you taken care of your body? Have you taken care of your mind? What have you done? What have you done? Or are you just saying shit, right? Be honest with yourself. So no amount of self-help, none of that. It's not going to help you if you don't take action. So take a step back and really reflect on your actions. Have you done the things that's necessary for you to create a change in your life so that you can start creating the space, right? Because life fills voids, right? And if you're not really doing it, you don't get there. Keep going. Life fills voids. So you want to create the space for that next person to come into your life, right? So how many things did you do today or this week? Reflect on that. How many things did you do differently? Did you fail? Did you fail today? That's a good question. I just woke up and I did this. Did I really fail? No. Have I gotten out of my comfort zone? No. I'm stuck at home right now because, I'm doing this. But, I'm learning and I want to make certain mistakes. Not major ones, but like I want to make mistakes. I want to fail and I want to fail forward so that I could continue to learn. And these are the type of people. And this is a great thing about it too. It's like most people give up way too soon. Success is never crowded along the extra mile because most people usually end up quitting before they're actually there, or they might have almost gotten there and then they stopped. So here's an example. If I would have just focused on what I really wanted to do, which was like going on live, doing these type of talks with people, playing video games. I used to be really good at it too, right? Imagine what type of voice I might have, right? But I didn't capitalize in that moment, and you know what? Here I am. And so, but that's okay because I enjoy the process, and I love what I do, and I love knowing that somewhere out there I'm helping someone that really needs the help right now. And if that does help you, great, even better. Like, to me, that's fulfillment for myself. Like, that's what I feel like I'm here on this earth to do, is to have the service to make someone else feel better, whether it's through entertainment because I like dancing, or maybe it's through some words, maybe through a video, maybe changing the way you think about things, because when you change the way you think about things, the things you look at change. Okay, so take a step back and reflect on those actions. How many things do you do at the end of the week? How much changes have you done with yourself or for yourself? And here's the beauty of this too. The reason why I could give out these type of information for free is because I know that, number one, most people won't do it. Most people won't do it because it is free. You don't really think about the value, right? So me being a personal trainer, people, they kind of tell me like, oh, it's kind of expensive. I was like, well, if going to the gym and you honestly telling yourself you don't know what you're doing and you want to go to the gym and you want to kind of try to do it yourself first, absolutely, please go ahead. Who am I to tell you? But if you don't know what you're doing and you tried it before and you want to keep trying, unless you're doing something different and nothing clicks, then getting someone to help you, guide you through that journey is going to save you so much time. And also, if you think about it, I have people that come in to me before and they were like, Mitchell, like my doctor told me that I only have X amount of time. Like if I don't change my habits, if I don't change my diet, like, I'm not gonna really live a healthy life. I might not be here, like, and that's why they're here. And I was like, damn, again, really got to push you to that point too, right? Of really needing to invest in yourself. But me, I like preventative. So that's why you saw me. I don't know if y'all was there in TikTok earlier. Anyways, I was eating a salad. You know, I enjoy, but tomorrow I'm gonna have some fun with my friends and stuff. But like, I focus on the 80-20 rule, where 80% of the time I'm focusing on what I need to do. 20% I get to kind of slack off, get to enjoy life a little bit, maybe drink some wine and stuff. So do the 80-20, right? You don't have to go hard at it right away, but eventually I'm gonna narrow it down to like 90-10. Mitchell, you're gonna be doing this some more. I was there. Yeah, I had that salad. I really like that salad. That was a great salad. I'm gonna have and this is life, all right? This is life. TMI. As you get older in life, all right, as you get older in life, the more nutrient dense food that you have, it really just means that you're just gonna have a better number 2 when you go. You know what I mean? No, just me being me, all right? Who wants to be constipated? I don't want to be constipated, all right? What else you thinking? I do enjoy tea. I do enjoy tea and water. All right, guys, I'm almost done. So let me finish this. So yeah, here's the reason why most people won't do it. But if you're one of those few people that's actually going to make a lasting change for yourself, great, do it. Use this free information, go for it, and then share it to other people. Like, damn, this helped me. Mitchell helped me. All right, great. Everybody needs a healthy bathroom. Everybody needs that. Who wants to sit in a toilet hella long and nothing comes out, and then when you do, you get that nothing's great, right? What's up, Karina? How you doing? It's good seeing you here. So let's talk about this. So most people talk about it. The reason why I could give it, most people won't do it. They might want to, they might consider it, but most people won't make a change or won't care. They won't care. So consider that it takes about 90 days to develop a habit. Here are some steps to kind of help you to make these healthy habits become your rituals. And I got this from Tony Robbins, so shout out to Tony Robbins. It's just gonna be some short breakdown. I finally made it. Yes, you did. You said you were gonna make it yesterday, and here you are. I'm like, Panda, you're gonna. All right. So number 1, you want to make it a daily routine, right? Creating habits that last can take up to about 18 weeks. 18 weeks, if you think about it, it's... Hold on, what? Give me 1 second. There was something that he wrote down. Just give me 1 second. Is it here? No, it's not. So I was not as prepared as I thought it was. Anyways, so make it a daily routine. It could take up about 18 weeks. And for like, I think he broke it down to a lifespan of a human. And that's about 0.5, so less than 1%. Those 18 weeks, it's about less than 1% of your life that you have to invest in yourself. And for those 18 weeks, once you start investing in yourself, well, you're creating this healthier lifestyle, this health span, if you will. You're like a panda. I'm gonna need my diet too. You gotta cut it with that Jamba Juice though, all right? I expect you to drink 4 days a week. Now, number 1, make it a daily routine, right? So what you want to do is you also want to set yourself up by reducing the friction. So let's just say you're like, hey, you know what, Mitchell, you're right. New Year's right around the corner. I need to go to the gym. All right, I want to go to the gym. Number 1, sign up for a gym membership, whatever it may be, right? And so you go and you sign up for this gym membership, and you're like, well, how do I get myself in there? How do I get myself there? Especially in the morning, knowing that you have to wake up at 6 or 7 o'clock, whatever time you have to wake up, and you have to be at work at 7 or 8. So that means that, damn, like you got to wake up extra early to get dressed, to go to the gym, work out, and that's a lot of effort. Well, try that once a week. Make it a daily, not daily routine, make it a daily week. Once a week, set a time, whether it's Wednesday or Tuesday or whatever, or maybe on a weekend. Just do it once a week. and set yourself that habit, that daily routine, and reduce the friction. Meaning, hey, you know what? If you have to wake up early, at the very least, set everything up the night before. Set your clothes ready. So when you wake up, all you have to do is whop whop. You changed, you have your food ready, everything's set and done, and then you go, right? Reduce the friction. So when you're there, you have more mental bandwidth to be like, okay, this is what I'm going to do, right? It's planning yourself. So reduce the friction, but make it a daily routine. That's number one. Number two, you got to make it a must, okay? So it's a must. Thinking that you should make it a daily routine is not good enough, and it needs to be a must. This is a must. I must do this. That's how you do it. It's a must. No matter how busy I am, I told myself, Mitchell, it's been a long time since you've done some lives, and I want to get back into the routine. Like I should, but I was like, no, like Mitchell, if you're a type of person that says once you say something, you're gonna do it. And when you say you're gonna do it, you want to be consistent with that. Because if you're not, other people, you don't take yourself serious. If you don't take yourself serious, nobody else will take you serious. So you have to do it yourself. So I said every Saturday I'm gonna do a live. I don't care if it's Thanksgiving week. I don't care if it's, unless I got something important that I have to do, then that's totally different. But I'm gonna do it every fucking Saturday. Every Saturday. All right. So I made it a must. I must do it. This is who I am. I want to stay consistent with it, and I like it. I enjoy it. So I'm only gonna get better at it. All right. So here I am. Make it a must. Otherwise, it's not good enough. Right. And then if you really think about this, consider yourself a little bit more fortunate. Right. Be grateful that you get to wake up every morning and not have to worry about things. Because most people wake up and they worry about, do I have enough food? You're waking up, man, thinking like, oh, damn, I have to go to the gym. No, you don't have to do anything, but you get to. Whereas most people can't even get up and eat. There's a war going on. A lot of people, they're fearful for their lives every single day. Like, can you imagine that? So be grateful for where you're at. All right, so make it daily routine, make it a must. And number 3 is start small. So like I said, do it once a week. I don't care. Just go to the gym. Be in that environment. That's all you have to be. Even though maybe you're wasting your time, that at least you're there. The hardest decision is to get yourself through those doors sometimes. And when you do those doors, do something about it, right? So start small. Pick 2 daily routine examples and turn them into attainable daily goals. So start small. I just want to go to the gym once a week, and I want to see myself there, and I want to utilize my time while I'm there, and I want to do something for myself. Or maybe it's something that you always wanted to do that you kind of set aside, that you're like, well, when I come home from work, I've always wanted to draw, or I always wanted to bake, or I always wanted to do something, but I don't do it. Well, start small. Start with 10-15 minutes of whether it's reading a book or watching somebody on a podcast or on YouTube. Do something that you always wanted to do and start replicating that. That's fine. You could copy some people. None of these information are from my own. I collected it through my years of listening and educating myself and being reminded of it, right? I love being reminded as I am being educated. So a lot of times I go back to a lot of things I've done. I'm like, wow, Mitchell, like you kind of forgot that. That's okay, right? So start small. Re-educate yourself. Maybe you are already good at something. Well, get back into it. If that's something that you always wanted to do, I'm right there trying to get myself through this door. I've done years of hard work and change and growing, finally made it through the door, and I'm struggling all of a sudden to open it. Yeah, and that's great. You're finding yourself struggling all of a sudden to open that door. Now you want to listen to that thought, because those are the thoughts that's preventing you, right? What was that quote? Doors. I'm having this brain. It happens. Doors that. It might come back, but it goes somewhere along the lines of doors that doors that keep away blank also keeps doors that keep away disappointment also keeps away happiness too. So if you're like, I don't want to be disappointed, well, also you don't know what's on the other side, and you kind of been there before, right? So there is happiness over here. It's just that you're not trying to be disappointed again, right? So, and it might be something worth looking into, Shelby. Okay, so there you go. Mitchell finally had that. I was like, what's that word? Disappointment. Words that, kind of keep away disappointment also keeps away happiness. So start small, and it's okay. You don't have to go work out 2-3 hours right away, right? Or start eating healthy. Like, no, that's it. Salad all the way, chicken breasts. Start small. Maybe add in a meal, or maybe keep your same meals and then just add in more greens and vegetables, some more nutrient dense food for yourself, right? Your body will reflect. So start small. Number 4 is staying consistent. Because you don't want to do something so, like, make it a daily routine and building a healthy habit of whatever you want to do, right? It's all about staying consistent. The idea is to train your brain to enjoy good habits, not shock it into submission. You're not trying to go in there, I'm going to go in hard 3 hours at the gym. I'm going to eat cold turkey. Not literally turkey. I'm like cold turkey. I'm going to cut everything, hey, some things you have to cut cold turkey. Like, you can't wean yourself out of crack. But there's food, you start light. Hey, maybe, you know what? Instead of adding one entire meal, maybe I'm just going to sprinkle a little bit of vegetables in every meal. That's a little bit healthier. Okay, maybe I'm going to use a little less sauce. Stuff like that. One of the biggest change for one of my clients was that she was like, Mitchell, I've always thought about traveling. And I was like, cool. She was like, yeah, I'm thinking about traveling. I was like, absolutely, go. Have fun. How long are you going to be gone for? Over a month. Great. Go. I don't care. Have fun. Have fun, right? I'm not worried about my wallet, right? Because if they don't show up, I don't get paid, right? But more often than not, I'm more worried about them. Go take care of yourself. Because they will come back much healthier, happier, usually, right? And like they're more free-minded. And so my client went on vacation for over a month, came back. They were like, wow, my mindset kind of changed. I walked so much. I lost a lot of weight. I feel good about myself, but I've lost a little bit of strength, Mitchell. But I lost a lot of weight, and I kind of like that, and back then I only wanted strength, but I kind of like where I'm at now. I was like, great. So remember when I said, when a student is ready, the teacher will appear. Back then I was like, are you sure you don't want to like start reducing your calories so that you could be at a weight that you want? Person was like, no, I'm comfortable where I'm at. And I was like, okay, that's what you want. I'm going to give you what you want. But if you ever decide that you ever want to change, I'm here to make that adjustment for you. All right. And they was like, yeah, thank you. I appreciate your honesty and you giving me what I want. And I was like, absolutely. And that's allowing. And imagine you could do that in a relationship too, right? But also not compromise my own values, right? If my partner was like, you know what, Mitchell, I kind of want to see other people, and I'm not going to be like, all right, absolutely, you could go ahead and sleep with other people. Well, I'm going to be like, well, that's not for me. And I understand that that's what you want, and I can't change you. And so I have to let you go. And I want you to be happy. It sucks. I'm kind of hurt right now. Well, Mitchell, you don't seem like you're hurt. Or maybe I just don't show my emotions as much as you want me to. Okay. I don't want to make a big scene out of something that you want. And so I will have to learn to deal with it. You want to go ahead and sleep with other people or be with other people. Maybe you're just not as happy. Whatever, right? Whatever. Have your core values. Don't compromise those. But, if you focus on like relationships is about giving. You want to give to the other person because they will give back. Usually if you give to other people, they give back. And they give back tenfolds. So be able to give. And you can't give what you don't have. So you got to start working on yourself to start being able to start giving to other people, right? So anyways, back to my client. Came back super happy. I was like, yeah, like do what you got to do. I know you'll be back. Why would you leave something great? Why? You wouldn't. I get it. I know. I'm the shit, okay? I know that. Okay? Little self-reflection. I needed that for myself, all right? Don't judge me. So, stay consistent, make it daily routine. Start healthy habits. It's all about staying consistent no matter what. You're not trying to shock yourself into submission. So, but beware of distractions. Beware of distractions. Set a definite time and set a definite place to do something. So maybe if you need, use a calendar or something. Use a calendar and set it and make sure you do it. Make sure you do it. And then it's a little over an hour. Had a lot of good times talking about this, but kind of want to start ending it with this. And this is my last quote before I go for my summary, which is, the longer you entertain what's not for you, that much more you need to tend to postpone what is, right? So the longer you entertain what's not for you, the longer you postpone what is. So if you constantly entertaining something that's not really for you, that call it distractions, call it maybe being stuck in the past, well, you're really postponing the time that you have on this earth. Everybody has a set time. Everybody has the same destination at the end of the day. Nobody survives at the very end. You know what I mean? And it's kind of dark to think about that, but if we understand that, we can see there's a lot of beauty in that and how to at least enjoy the life that you lived. Because we've given that one lottery that, hey, look, everybody watching here today had a race. Okay, we made it through that goalie. And that's why we're here today. And that's why you're on this podcast watching me talk about how sperm made it to an egg and talking about you can't make good wines with bad grapes. Here you are. All right. And so stop entertaining things that's not for you. Okay. Maybe you can have a little fun. Do that. Now, summary time. First slide. Most people don't change. Whatever you tolerate, you invite more of it. So be careful what you tolerate. Number 2, it's not your job to change them. It must be their choice. They must participate in their own rescue, right? So watch them through their actions and always judge them. Number 3, always judge someone by their actions. Characterize people by their actions, and you will never be fooled by their words. Take a step back and look at as they are. See reality as it is. Are they doing it? Are they not? What are they? Do they say what they mean and mean what they say, or are they just saying a lot of things and not following through with action? And then number 4 is take action. So with the steps of making it a daily routine, make it a must, start small, and staying consistent, right? And the longer you entertain what's not for you, the longer you postpone what is. And with that, I want to conclude that. Thank you all for your time. My name is Mitchell. If you guys enjoyed this video, share it to your friend, hit the like button, maybe subscribe to me too at the same time. And I'll catch you guys on the next live. All right. Thank you guys for joining me. And thank you. Bye-bye.